Last night was the first of a 3-day full moon. I awoke in the woods cold, naked, and my breath was foul. The dead leaves and twigs fell off my body as I hurried to my car. It was still dark out, and the moon was high in the sky. I held my breath as I eased my car into the garage, and then I entered my home. I peeked into the bedroom. Agatha was still asleep. I rushed into the bathroom to clean up. There was bits of meat in my teeth I had a hard time brushing out. What the hell did I eat? My stomach churned as I spat out whatever it was. In the shower, I watched as mud and dried blood temporarily stained my tub on their way down the drain. I hurriedly scrubbed it clean after. I dressed quietly and went into the kitchen to put the coffee on for Agatha. She loves a cup first thing in the morning. Then I went into my office and closed the door just as she was stirring. For once, she didn't come in to say goodbye. Instead, she knocked.
I'm leaving Carl. I'll call you later. Have a nice day.
Okay, you too, I replied. My mind raced through several plausible reasons to explain why we needed to break up. I could never tell her the truth. I really liked her, and I didn't want to hurt her, but it needed to be done. I even contemplated on going away, but that required planning. To begin my day, I logged on into my computer to find that my work had piled up. Served me right for neglecting to log on the day before. And yet, I needed the respite. Agatha's endearing smile, her kisses, and her body. Just a few hours of peace and normalcy. That's all I needed. Hours later, I pushed away from my desk and stood up to stretch. I touched my toes to relieve the kinks in my lower back. I was hungry, but I couldn't eat yet. I couldn't stand to mix anything with what's still in my bowels, so I had some tea. Once I used the bathroom, I felt confident enough to eat. For the past year, I enjoyed working from home. After the pandemic, I opted to continue to work from home. It was better that way because of what I had become. I had my secrets, but they were manageable. This was something I couldn't control. To keep fit, I used to run in the park, and I still do, but it had to be under the right conditions, and even then, I was careful. I didn't venture too far into the woods anymore, not since that day. It was getting dark again, and I could feel it trying to get out. Before I could leave, my cell phone rang. It was Agatha. I didn't want to speak with her, but I answered anyway. "Hey, Agatha," I said.
Hey, Lloyd, I need to talk with you. You were busy this morning and I was running late. I'll see you later tonight and dinner is on me.
"Agatha, could we make it another night? I've got a lot of work to catch up on," I replied.
Honey, we don't talk enough. I have something very important to discuss with you. I'll see you later.
She hung up. My hand formed a fist, and the phone fell in pieces onto the floor. I looked at them dispassionately, kicked them aside as I rushed out the door. The moon was calling, and I was hungry. In the car, I slowed down my breathing and tried to think clearly, but the wolf wouldn't let me. Running and eating was all that was clear in my mind. Run, eat, run, eat. My brain couldn't focus on anything else. I drove further into the park and parked. Instinct took over, and I sniffed the air and took off. I tasted the wind as I ran and changed direction when I caught the scent of a deer. The fury I felt earlier began to fade as I devoured the deer, as its warm blood coated my throat. Suddenly, Agatha flashed through my mind. "Agatha!" I growled. I ran back to my car. I grabbed clothes out of the trunk, marveling that I remembered them. She was in the house when I returned. She was in my kitchen. "Agatha, what are you doing here?" I asked her. She looked and smelled lovely.
Honey, I told you that I was coming straight from work. Don't you remember?
I didn't want her here. What do you want to talk about?
I thought we'd have a nice dinner, have some wine, and talk about us. We don't share enough.
She came to stand in front of the door, blocking it, and smiled at me. My stomach roiled and my skin prickled. That wasn't good. I wanted to tear her apart, but I took a deep breath instead. She was still blocking my way. You have to leave, my wolf said. She shook her head.
No, I want it back.
She was calm, and I was a mass of coiled nerves and muscles. What do you want back? I asked. I was puzzled. I couldn't think straight.
I thought I was okay giving it to you, but I miss it. It was what made me strong and powerful. I feel lost without it, so I want it back.
What are you talking about? I asked her. Agatha's demeanor changed from indulgent to condescending. Her lips curled as she stared at me.
Did you think I chose you randomly? No, I picked you because you were easy, a loner, and pathetic. I felt sorry for you. I'd watch you run in the park and thought I'd give you something precious and thought that you were a good fit. But afterward, all you did was creep and hide. I was lonely and thought we could be strong and majestic together. But I was wrong. You don't deserve it.
It was then I understood. It was her that awful night in the woods. She was the monster that made me an animal. I hated what I'd become, and for a whole year she knew. She had planned the whole horrible thing. In retrospect, I was partly to blame too. I remember that night clearly. I wasn't myself. I had gone for a run. I needed to clear my head. I was so deep in thought, I hadn't sensed that I was being hunted. I could have prevented the attack. Afterwards, I had gone into preservation mode. Then I met her. She didn't seem like a threat, and if I was careful, we could be together. I kept to myself and thought finally I'd found someone I could trust, but she was the thing that had set out to destroy me. Bile rose in my throat, and I salivated with hate. I howled at her, and she smiled and opened her arms to me. I leapt at her with bitterness as I tore at her throat and allowed her blood to spill onto the carpet. Her lifeless eyes stared unseeingly at the ceiling. When I came to myself, she was gone. It took me 3 days and multiple trips to the store to clean the bloodstains out of the carpet. Now that everything was back to normal, I wondered what her reaction will be when she discovers the gift I gave her. Folklore has it all wrong. Vampires are on top of the food chain, not lichens.